I Kigali mu Rwanda haravugwa umunyagihugu abandanya gutakambira inzego zitandukanye ku karenganyo amaranye imyaka igera ku 8. Lazaro Habiyaremye wo mu karere ka Kicukiro aravuga ko yarasiwe mu kasho y'igipolisi ikicukiro n'amangingo aya ngo yasavye kurenganurwa amaso akaba yaheze mu kirere. Maître Beatrice Kamagaju amwunganira yemeje ko leta niyo yabandanya guhishira uwamurashe ariyo izobibazwa. I Kigali ni inkuru tubaza Eric Bagira ubusa.
Nta kintu bigeze bambwira nericaye ku ntebe y'urubaho umupolisi araza nkubita urushyi ngwino wa muntu ngo ari yashyamba jya wa mudamu kayitesa kimara kumbyira ishyamba ahita nkubita n'isaso mu gihumbi isogera imbere mu gatuza.
Bwana Lazaro Habiyaremye ubarizwa mu murenge wa Gahanga akarere ka Kicukiro mu nkengero z'umujyi wa Kigali mu maganya menshi aratekerereza ijwi rya Amerika kaga kamugwiririye ubwo yarasirwaga muri kasho ya polisi ya Kicukiro mu kwezi kwa 2013 akeka ko wamurasha ari mu bamukuye mu kivunge cy'abaturage hazwi nka Kicukiro Centre akajya kumufunga atazi icyo azira. Habiyaremye asobanura ko yazize akagambane k'umugore yakoreraga kuko avuga ko yamwishyuzaga amafaranga 1,100 aho kumwishyura ahitamo kujya kumufungisha. Mu mazina y'uwo mugore Habiyaremye amwita Kayitesi. Avuga ko nyuma yo kuraswa yahise ajyanwa mu bitaro amaze koroherwa atangira inzira zo gusiragira mu nzego zitandukanye asaba kurenganurwa kuko avuga ko yarashwa yambaye amapingu nta cyaha yakoze. Mu mabaruwa yandikiye inzego zikomeye yitabaje biboneka ko mu kwezi kwa 2015 umuvunyi mukuru yategetse igipolisi gukurikirana icyo kibazo kandi kigafatwaho umwanzuro mu gihe cy'ukwezi. Indi baruwa biboneka ko yashyizweho imikono n'uwategekaga urwego rw'ubugenzacyaha CID Yose badegeye igaragaza ko ikirego cyashyikirijwe ubushinjacyaha ku rwego rw'ibanze rwa Kagarama kubera ikibazo cye kimaze kitarabonerwa umuti. Habiyaremye arasa n'uwataye umutwe. Iby'iki kibazo cy'ijwi rya Amerika kimenye bwa mbere hagati muri uku kwezi ubwo yadusangaga haberaga urubanza rwa Bwana Paul Rusesabagina ahorana umurundo w'amadosiye kubera ko yakorakora cyane yereka umuhisi n'umugenzi biboneka ko harimo n'ayatangiye gusaza. Mu zindi nzego Habiyaremye yagejejeho ikibazo cye harimo n'ibiro by'umukuru w'igihugu Village Urugwiro. Kuva mu 2013 kugeza 2019 yandikiye Perezida wa Repubulika amabaruwa 3 asaba kurenganurwa. Kubwa Habiyaremye akeka ko atamugeraho kuko kuri we mu bihe bitandukanye yakumirwaga n'inzego z'umutekano. Avuga ko aho kurenganurwa yashinjwaga gusuzugura inzego z'umutekano. Ajyanye ibaruwa ye ya nyuma avuga ko abapolisi bamufatiye ku Rugwiro bamujyana hazwi nko kwa Gacinya Gikondo bahamukura bamujyana kumufungira kwa Kabuga. Yeretse ijwi rya Amerika inkovu ku Murundi avuga ko yakuye kwa Kabuga.
Ubwo mageze nyine namaze igihe kinini ndahakubitirwa uwo kugeza n'isa dore izi nkovu z'inkoni bagiye bankubita kwa Kabuga. Umupolisi yaraje nkubita butinanga ngiyi nkovu ya butine ngiyi ku kibuno bamye ati shinga amaboko hasi amaboko nkayashinga bakankubita ku gikuta gucya hejuru bakankubita amaboko ari hasi anyashinze gucya.
Habiyaremye yemeza ko nyuma yo kurasirwa muri kasho za polisi ya Kicukiro byamuviriyemo ingaruka ndetse no ku muryango we. Agakomeza asaba kurenganurwa nyuma y'imyaka igera mu 8 asiragira.
Nandikiye Perezida wa Repubulika musanga ngo andenganure nk'umuntu ukunda abanyarwanda kuko uyu mupolisi wandashe yanashe nari igisambo sindi umunyepolitike nyisingwa nyareta ndo umuturage wipagasirizo beshiko n'ibiraka ariko gose kugeza isa ko narenganurwa kandi baba ko mu Rwanda dufite ubutabera budafite ivangura niki ariko imyaka 8 maze nirenganuza irisasu nakubiswe najya mu n'akarenge gatandukanye najye mu nzego z'ubuyobozi nkahezwa bo rimwe na rimwe navuga ikibazo cyanjye aho umva ikibazo cyanjye aho bakamamagariza imodoka yo kumpakira bakanyana bakajya kumfunga. Kaba nifuza yuko bose abayobozi bakuru b'igihugu bose bandenganura nkabasha kubona ubutabera nk'umunyarwanda wahuye n'akarengane ko kuraswa.
Ibaruwa yavuba niyo mu kwezi kwa 7 uyu mwaka yandikiye Bwana Johnston Businge Minisitiri w'ubutabera icyarimwe n'intumwa nkuru ya leta amusaba kurenganurwa. Twahamagaye Bwana Businge ku murongo wa telefone ntiyatwitabye ntiyanasubiza ubutumwa bugufi twamwoherereje. Twari dukeneye kumenya aho iki kibazo kigeze. Gusa mu gisubizo yahaye uyu muturage ku itariki ya 15 z'uku kwezi kwa 9 Bwana Businge yamusabye gukorana n'umunyamategeko we bagakurikirana iby'iyi dosiye kandi amenyesha umushinjacyaha mukuru ko bagomba koroherezwa. Ijwi rya Amerika yabonye inkove ebyiri kuri Habiyaremye aho avuga ko isasu ryinjiriye mu bitugu rigahingukira mu gituza hafi y'ijosi. Raporo ya muganga mu bitaro bya gisirikari Kanombe mu kwezi kwa 2013 igaragaza ko Habiyaremye yarashwe kandi ko bishobora kumuviramo ihungabana rishingiye ku ihohoterwa. Maître Beatrice Kamagaju yabwiye ijwi rya Amerika ko amaze amezi 6 yinjiye muri iki kibazo. Avuga ko asanga Habiyaremye yarapfukiranwe bihura n'uko atarasobanukiwe imikorere y'ubutabera bituma ikibazo cye kirushaho kudindira. Yemeje ko yatangiye kuvugana n'umushinjacyaha mukuru kugira ngo hamenyekane uwarashe Habiyaremye bitaba ibyo leta ikazabyirengera.
Procureur General twashoboye kuvugana amaze nk'iminsi 3 mubwira nti hakorwa ibishoboka byose uwo muntu wakoze icyo cyaha aregwe ndetse agiye sinatinye no kumubwira nabwiye ngo niba uyu muntu wakoreye icyaha uyu muturage atagaragazwa uyu mupolisi wamurashe c'est-à-dire ko tugiye kuzarega leta guhishira umunyacyaha kuko izo nzego zose yagiyemo yagaragaza ko umuntu yamurashe yahuye n'akarengane asaba kurenganura. None imyaka ingana gutya umuntu yarabuze uwamurashe.
Uyu munyamategeko yemeje ko nubwo iki kibazo cyadindiye hari icyizere ko Habiyaremye yazashyira akabona ubutabera.
Parike Generale yamaze gukora iperereza, ntabwo nashidikanya yuko uyu muturage Habiyaremye Lazaro azarenganurwa. Ntabwo nemeza ko inzego zose zikora nabi, hariho inzego zikora neza.
Maître Kamagaje anavuga ko raporo ya polisi yakozwe mu 2014 yikuragaho icyaha maze ishinja uyu yunganira ko yarwanyaga inzego z'umutekano, ndetse dosiye ishyikirizwa ubushinjacyaha, urubanza ruburanishwa adahari aranakatirwa. Ariko kugeza ubu Minisitiri w'Ubutabera ngo avuga ko urwo rubanza rwateshejwe agaciro, Habiyaremye atagifunzwe. Kenshi hakunze kumvikana barasirwa muri za kasho za polisi, igasubiza ko baba bashaka kuyirwanya, ingingo yakunze kunengwa na raporo z'abarengera uburenganzira bwa muntu. Mu minsi mike ishize Umukuru w'u Rwanda Paul Kagame yatangaje ko ibikorwa bitakwitirirwa igipolisi cyose. Bagira ubusa ijwi rya Amerika i Kigali.
Urakoze Eric. Amakuru yo mu karere k'ibiyaga binini. Ejo ku munsi wa kabiri Perezida w'u Rwanda Paul Kagame yarashikirije ijambo inama rusange y'ishyirahamwe mpuzamakungu ONU mu gihe ibikorwa byayo byari bigeze ku munsi ugira kabiri. Mugenzi wacu Geoffrey Mutagoma yarakurikiranye ijambo rya Perezida Kagame.
Ijambo rya Perezida Paul Kagame ryari rigufi ugereranije n'abamubanjirije bose. Mu minota 7 ryamaze yibanze ku ngingo 5 z'ingenzi: ikiza cya COVID-19, uburinganire ku bagabo n'abagore, imihindagurikire y'ibihe, intego z'iterambere rirambye ku isi n'uburinganire mu moko y'abatuye isi.
Excellency Volkan Bozkır, President of the General Assembly, Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, distinguished delegates. The 75th anniversary of the United Nations falls at a moment of uncommon peril for our people and our planet. The COVID pandemic has claimed nearly 1 million lives and pushed hundreds of millions into unexpected hardship. It is not a time for doubt or hesitation. We have the tools to meet this test and prevail. We mark other important anniversaries this year. 25 years ago, the World Conference on Women in Beijing charted a transformative agenda on gender equality, which continues to guide us. The empowerment of women has made all of us safer and wealthier, but true gender equality has still not been attained in any country. 5 years ago, the Paris Agreement on climate change was signed. Implementing this framework will slow the pace of global warming and give our economies time to adapt to new technologies. The Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol, adopted 4 years ago, will play a major role by reducing the consumption of hydrofluorocarbons. Just over half a member of states have ratified the Kigali Amendment, which is now in force, and I call upon the remainder to ratify as soon as possible. 5 years ago, the Sustainable Development Goals were adopted to define our ambitions for integrated global development. 10 years remain before 2030, but let's not deceive ourselves about how difficult it will be to meet the targets on time. Most countries, especially in Africa, were already off track before 2020. The pandemic has disrupted growth and revenue collection around the world, most likely for several years to come. These milestones on gender, climate, and development demonstrate the achievements of multilateral action, while also reminding us how much remains to be done. I commend the exceptional work being done by the World Health Organization, led by Dr. Tedros Adhanom. We will continue to work to reinforce the WHO and make it more effective. The creation of the Access to COVID Tools Accelerator, Act A, including the COVAX Global Vaccines Facility, is of critical importance for Africa. Ensuring equitable access to vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics will speed up the end of the pandemic for everyone. The pandemic has highlighted the importance of resilient national health systems and strong domestic health financing. The African Union is championing this agenda among its member states, with emphasis on not just spending more, but spending better. The goal is for Africa to leverage its own resources to reinforce the impact of global health partnerships, such as the Global Fund and Gavi. In the coming decades, prosperity will be closely linked to digital literacy and access to high-speed connectivity. The Secretary General's roadmap for digital cooperation is compelling and far-sighted, building on the work of the Broadband Commission and other initiatives. The global movement for racial justice and equality is not a passing phenomenon. What is required is action that builds public trust in the equal dignity of all citizens, as demonstrated in the treatment of those who have historically been most marginalized and who continue to suffer mistreatment disproportionately. Success depends on strengthening institutions, both national and international, including the work of scientists, innovators, and creators. That is not just a question of funding. It's about the positive human values that citizens and governments invest in those institutions and for which they must be accountable. Our descendants will look back and judge how this generation responded to these challenges, especially the leaders. Did the collective accomplishments of 3 generations over 75 years in building a stronger international order disintegrate into recrimination and resentment? Or did we come together to once again secure global progress on a foundation of cooperation and mutual respect? The choice is ours. I thank you.